Each tape diagram has equal sized units. Determine the unknown value. What that means is every box in the tape diagram is going to be filled in with the same value. So each of these needs to be the same number. We're going to do number 5. All of these must be filled in with a 2. So then our answer, 2, 4, 6, 8, is 10. Finish up the remaining problems for your warm-up. A bouquet of roses and daisies has a total of 105 flowers. For every 2 roses, there are 3 daisies. How many roses are in the bouquet? How many daisies are in the bouquet? So we have 2 roses and 3 daisies, with a total of 105 flowers. So it's going to get split into 5 equal boxes. 5 fits into 10 2 times. 5 fits into 5 once. So each box is going to get 21. That means that there are 21 plus 21, or 21 times 2 roses, and 21 plus 21 plus 21 is 63 daisies. Equivalent ratios can be built by filling in that tape diagram with different numbers. So 2 to 3, if we filled in each of the boxes with 2, 2, 4 roses would be there. If I filled in the 3 boxes for the daisy with 2, 2, 4, 6 daisies would be there. And you can see that represented in this picture. The tape diagram still has the same amount of boxes, but we've created multiple equivalent ratios by changing the number that's inside of them. So if we put a 4 in there, 4, 8, 4, 8, 12. So these ratios are all equivalent to each other because they're based on a ratio of 2 to 3. It says write 2 ratios, one that is equivalent to 3 to 5 and one that is not. Justify your answer. So if I have 3 and 5, I can fill that in with a number such as 4. This is 4, 8, 12. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So the ratio 12 to 20 is equivalent because all the boxes have the same value. One that is not equivalent is something such as that would be 11. Nine, 10, 11, 16, 23. And the reason that 11 to 23 is not equivalent is because I didn't fill in every box with the same number. Here we have these. The total of this is 5. What would be the total of this one? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. You may notice that there's a relationship that exists as we create equivalent ratios. For problems 3 and 4, the bouquets have 2 roses for every 3 daisies. Label and use the tape diagrams to answer the question. If a bouquet has 16 roses, how many daisies are in the bouquet? So the roses is equal to 16. To figure out how many daisies, we have to first split that 16 up equally amongst the boxes. Well, 16 split into 2 boxes is 8. Remember, to create equivalent ratios, every box has to be filled in with the same number. That would tell us that the number of daisies is 8, 16, 24. And then it says, what is the total number of flowers in the bouquet? Well, there's 16 roses and 24 daisies. That would be 40 total flowers. If a bouquet has a total of 105 flowers, how many are in the bouquet? How many daisies are in the bouquet? We did this problem earlier, so just fill it in with the information from before. We did this in problem 1. So there were 42 roses and 63 daisies. A board game includes tiles. Each tile is labeled with a letter. There are 3 tiles labeled A, for every 4 tiles labeled E. This is an indication of a ratio, that for every or for each. If there are 9 tiles labeled A, so A has a total of 9, how many tiles are labeled E? If I split 9 equally into 3 groups, 3 must go in each one. 3, 6, 9. To create equivalent ratios, 3 has to also go in here. 3, 6, 9, 12. So how many tiles are labeled E? There are 12 tiles labeled E. A recipe to make bubbles consists of water and dishwashing soap. A ratio that relates the number of cups of water to the number of cups of dishwashing soap is 6 to 1. If a bubble mixture has 4 cups of dishwashing soap, so the soap is 4, how many cups of water does it have? Well, 4 is getting broken up into one box. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. Sasha and Julie sell water bottles to raise money for their school. A ratio relates the number of water bottles Sasha sells to the number of water bottles Julie sells, and that is a ratio of 5 to 2. Together they sell 63 water bottles. That means all of them combined. So we're going to write that all of them is 63. Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 groups to split it into. 63 split into 7 parts is 9. So Julie has 9, 18, and Sasha has 9, 18, 27, 36, 45. How many water bottles does Julie sell? Julie sells 18 water bottles. The mixture in a container of hummingbird food consists of sugar and water. There are 2 ounces of sugar for every 8 ounces of water. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8. And it says, how many ounces of sugar are there in a 50-ounce container of hummingbird food? So all of this together makes the hummingbird food. And that 50 is split up amongst 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 boxes, which is 5 in each box. So 10 ounces of sugar and 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 ounces of water. How many ounces of sugar are in a 50-ounce container? 10 ounces of sugar. An amusement park has kiddie rides and thrill rides. For every 2 kiddie rides, there is 1 thrill ride. If the amusement park has 11 thrill rides, the thrill rides is equal to 11. What is the total number of rides at the amusement park? 11 is going to fill 1 box. 11 plus 11, or 11 times 2, is 22. What is the total number of rides? Well, 22 plus 11 is 33 total rides at the park. A test has multiple choice questions and essay questions. A ratio that relates the number of multiple choice questions on the test to the number of essay questions on the test is 4 to 1. The test has 32 multiple choice questions, so just the multiple choice is 32. We need to split that up in 4 parts. 32 divided by 4 is 8. What is the total number of questions on the test? 32 multiple choice and 8 essay questions is 40 total questions. It says 2 ratios, A and B, and A to B and C to D are equivalent ratios if there's a non-zero number such that C is equal to C times A and D is equal to C times B. That's just a fancy way of saying that if I can take a ratio and multiply by the same amount to turn it into another ratio, then they are equivalent. So what this is like, that's like the number 2 here. If I can multiply A by 2 and b by 2 to turn it into a new ratio, then it's equivalent. And that works for any number. That's why they're saying that it's in symbolic language. Here's an example. 5 to 3 is equivalent to 20 to 12 because I can multiply both of them by the same number. 5 times 4 is 20, 3 times 4 is 12. Here's another set of equivalent ratios. Because I can multiply them both by the same number to turn it into the next ratio. That takes care of lesson 5 for module 1 in 6th grade. Thinking about equivalent ratios being multiples of the original ratio, or broken down versions like a simplified fraction.